All right, Tim, I'll start it, okay? At Don Cherry's Grapevine, how am I doing so far?
Sounds good.
All right. Tim, we got to talk about the Canadian division. I mean, that is unbelievable, the Canadian division. If they have the Canadian division, the TV ratings can go up. Can you imagine? You know, the owners like it too. You know why the owners like it?
Yeah, we less travel.
Yeah, less travel. 40% less travel. The owners like that right off the bat.
Well, one of the reasons they were thinking of doing that is because now they don't have to cross the border.
Yeah,
and they
that's
don't know
true.
what they don't know. Like,
January 1st, I think it is.
right, but they don't know if you're going to cross the border. Do you have to quarantine for 14 days or anything? So they're splitting them up into four divisions, and one being.
Can you imagine coming into Toronto? I live in Toronto. I come in here. You're going to see McDavid at least 3 or 4 times. How many times?
Well, I was reading different things, and they were talking about they would play each other 8 times for 4 at home, 4 on the road.
Unbelievable.
So that's 64 games they'd play.
Now, I'm not knocking Nashville, and I'm not knocking Carolina, but who would you rather see, McDavid and Draisaitl?
But do you like the one thing that I think that's been missing in hockey has been the rivalries.
Oh, can you imagine? You know, I played it a long time, played 16 years, and we played with 6 teams, and you knew rivalries are great. And boy, can you imagine? I mean, Vancouver coming in with all those young guys. That Schmidt, Tim, you went on television, and the people in Vancouver think that they're going to be worse off, and we
went on Twitter and we did a vote saying which team of each team saying, do you think on Twitter do you think they'll be better, worse, or the same? And
why would the people of Vancouver, when they get a guy like Holtby, I mean, goaltending is, well, all you have to do is take a look at why would they think that? Why would they?
Well, they're mad that they lost
Toffoli.
And that seems to be the main thing.
But they gained Schmidt, the defenseman.
Defense is everything, right?
Defense is everything. That's what you win on. I mean, if you got a system and you got a good defense, that's what you win on. At least prove that. And, but anyhow, how could they think that Vancouver, to have that Schmidt, just getting that Schmidt, and then they got Holtby on top. I think Benning's doing a great job. And they're going to be one of the powerhouses next year. If everybody plays, if the young guys play, there the way they played last year, I mean, it's fantastic. Yeah. I think Vancouver going to be one of the powerhouses of the whole division.
Yeah. And then if we go through that, the fans voted, about 5,000 fans voted, and they think that the Flames are better off.
Well, they got Markstrom. They're going on the goaltender. You get a goaltender like Markstrom. I mean, he can win games by himself if he plays the same way. Boy, what do you give him, a 7-year contract?
Yeah, big dough. Yeah. And then the other guy that they just signed, again from Vancouver, that you liked was Josh Levo. I
like Levo. If Levo plays regular on the first 3 lines, he'll get 20, 22 goals easy. I mean, this guy has the touch, and he'll get, if they play him, but, somehow he ends up in the 4th line all the time.
Do you believe, Dad, in these long-term contracts? Like when you coached, was there any player that you had a long-term contract?
No, I had the guys that had long-term contracts would play for nothing. The true. Gretzky kind of guy would play for nothing. Crosby would play for nothing. Bobby Orr would play for nothing. But you sign some of these guys, I don't care who you are. You get a 7-year contract.
Especially a goalie, don't you think, too?
I don't know. We'll see. But a 7-year contract, I don't care. I went every year with no contract, and I was hungry every year. I used to see
You're
the guy
only making $5,000 though.
Yeah, but as you said,
That's
you
true.
had to make
make it every year.
Every year you had to make the team.
And you know what? You get a 7-year contract. I don't care who you are.
You just show up.
Yeah, well, we'll see. But Markstrom, I think he looks like a guy that has a little pride. Edmonton, now they're going to be the same. They figure what they say.
Yeah, about 4,000 people voted, and they said that it's a split. They're either a little bit better, or the same. They really didn't do much, I don't think.
Unless they didn't do much, but I'll tell you one thing: they got McDavid. I don't know. You know what, Tim? Of all the things in hockey, and I follow it pretty closely. That's my life. I can't believe that McDavid wasn't even nominated for anything.
Yeah.
I mean, would somebody please explain that to me? He's the best hockey player in the world. There's nobody. He plays reckless. Nobody plays like him. Bobby Orr used to play like him. They say, Bobby, we're up. Well, why did he says that's the way I play. He has to play that way. I don't understand it. Anyhow, Leafs are going to be better off. They should be better.
Yeah.
They're bigger.
They're older.
Here's another team. I won't go through it again. They drafted every guy they drafted in their draft. They drafted all Europeans and an American, and every one they signed is a big guy. Thornton's big. He's 6'5". Simmons is a big guy. He's about 6'2".
Well, he balanced it off. He signed all the older Ontario guys and drafted all the young European guys.
You figure it. I guess Ottawa got to be better off. I wish they hadn't lost that defenseman. What's his name?
I forget the guy that hits all the time.
Yeah, I really liked him.
He went to Nashville.
Yeah, he went to Nashville. I really liked him. Anyhow,
but they'll be better. They'll be better off with Murray.
I'll tell you one thing. The Canadians will be good. Would be good. They got that Jake Allen. I mean, I've always liked him, and he's a backup. I tell you one thing. If I was Price, I'd play hard because if this guy gets a chance, this Jake Allen, he's a good goaltender.
Yeah, and then the Jets. Everybody thought that they were going to be a little bit either they're the same or worse.
I don't know. They lost a lot of guys, and without Bufflin, they got a good coach, and Maurice, and maybe you can put Magic again. I don't know.
Yeah.
They didn't trade Lane, so
well, we'll see what happens. But Dad, I just want to shout out to our sponsor, Don Cherry Sports Grill. 18. There's about 18 of them across Canada, and we want to say special hello to Perry Sound, Tim Turner, and the staff. Say hello to
Bobby Orr.
That's from
I wish
Bobby
they had
Orr.
a better sign of Bobby.
And if you go up in Perry Sound and go stop in the Don Cherry's and Tuesday night swing night and go see the Bobby Orr Museum.
I was in there. I dropped in. After, and they didn't know. Nobody come. Nice, geez, nobody even likes me, and they were afraid to come up and talk. And then when they did. Remember, I dropped in there after, and
we go every year when Bobby has his golf tournament.
Yeah.
We go up every year. You and I, we have a lot of fun driving up, driving down the same day, and we have a lot of fun. So we dropped in. I mean, you feel sort of bad when you're in the city and you don't stop in.
Remember, nobody come up and talk to me or anything for a while there, and I thought, gee, they're mad at me. And then when they did. But they're great people. But, getting back to the Canadian...
Well, we'll get back to the Canadian teams. But just the one thing I thought is kind of cool, because we were just talking that Tuesday night swing night on Perry Sound, that but before, like Wings, people don't realize that way back in the day, long time ago, Wings were a throwaway part of the chicken.
Oh, yeah.
Nobody used to eat them. And you went to the original... What was the bar called?
Anchor Bar.
Anchor Bar in Buffalo, and they were the original ones that started buying all the wings.
That's why they call them Buffalo Wings.
And
so I remember with the Boston Bruins, the guy said, "Grapes, we're going to a bar. You got to come along. Got to see this bar." And I said, "Well, okay, I'll go along." And we got to the bar, and there's a lineup out the front, a little wee bar, So where are you guys going? We went to the back door. The kitchen, they knocked on the door and opened up, and they knew Wayne Cashman and all the guys. So we're walking through the kitchen, through the back, and there was a mom, they call her Mom, and she was making the wings. Anyway, and so we went out, they had a little corner. I stayed for a while, but that's where the Buffalo Anchor at the Anchor Bar.
So that's probably the first time you ever had wings was there.
Well, I don't remember. I don't even if I had a wing.
Because you and Mom in Quebec used to have chicken backs, she said.
Well, when I was in Springfield, we didn't have much money, unfortunately. I wasn't making much. Well, I was making $4,500. I guess the people on welfare were making more. But anyhow, Rose and I used to eat. We used to eat chicken packs. And I know they used to sell chicken packs, and they were really good. She used to put rosemary on, and never ate wings. I mean, I think they were throwaway.
Yeah, they didn't back then. People never used to.
How much meat could possibly be on?
There was a lot. It
would be dark meat, right?
It was. I don't know.
Like a thigh.
But the way Rose used to do them, that we used to have the chicken wings, and we used to have chicken backs.
That's because they were cheap.
Yeah, nobody ever wanted chickenbacks.
Another throwaway.
Wish used to make good meal.
Yeah.
No, but let's get back to that. I'd like to. You don't cross the border, which is good. The Canadian division.
Yep.
You see McDavid more. I say McDavid. Am I in love with the McDavid or
Sounds
what?
like it.
Yeah, it does. All Canadian teams, which is good. You know, you'll see Ottawa coming in. Ottawa will be better. And you'll see all Canadian teams, which, you know, I sometimes we'd go, you'd see, I mean, I'm not knocking some of the teams that come in here, but they're good. You get in about February when they can't, you know, they're going through the motions. Every game will be a 4-point game. And there's no weak teams. Like used to be, maybe 10 years ago, we used to have. There's no weak team in the Canadian division now, boy. You four pointers, they'll be dog eat dog.
So for people that don't know what a 4-point game is if there's Toronto and Montreal wins. If Toronto wins, that's 2 points that they gain, and that's 2 points that Montreal loses. So that's a 4-point game.
And that's a 4-point game. And you will not see any. You'll not see guys going through the motions. Every game will mean something, and if you don't mean it, you won't be playing.
Well, as we say, to kind of bring back some rivalries.
Oh, boy, I love
like
rivalries.
You go to, a quick funny story. I remember I was at a golf tournament. This was a while back when Nashville was Nashville's like about 10 years into the season. So we were at a golf tournament, and they had platinum Toronto Maple Leaf tickets up for auction. So some guy, platinum, they were right along the glass. They were right along the glass.
Oh boy.
So some guy,
and they were up for auction.
They were up for auction, and they were bidding. They bidding this guy. This guy had a few beers, and he was bidding. And he probably bid too much. So I think he bid like $3,000 on these tickets, and he was all excited. So the guy goes, "Yes," he goes, "You've got platinum tickets right along the ice for the Toronto Maple Leafs and Nashville." And the guy goes, "Nashville? Nashville? So do they have a hockey team?
Yeah.
I spent $3,000 to see Nashville." He goes, "You give me $1 million, I couldn't name 2 guys on Nashville."
Can I tell you a funny story? I remember when I left Boston, I got with Colorado, and I was down on Wolf Island, and for some reason I was driving to Toronto. So I stopped off at this Esso spot, and a kid was filling out, or I was standing there, and the kid, "Hi, Mr. Cherry. I'm sorry you lost your job in Boston." So he said, "Well, who are you going to coach this year?" And I said, Colorado Rockies. "Oh," he says, "are they in the National Hockey League?" Little did I know it's the same guy with Nashville. Yeah. I mean, that's what I'm talking about. I'm not knocking Nashville. I'm not knocking Colorado. I'm not knocking those teams that come in. But can you imagine? You're going to see McDavid. You're going to see Ottawa. You're going to see.
Well, hopefully, like the Toronto Ottawa will build up, and you'll get imagine the Battle of Alberta will get going again.
Calgary and Alberta and Edmonton going, and Vancouver going to be a powerhouse. 2 good goalies.
So okay, Dad, everybody's going to want to know who's going to be in first place.
Holy smokes! I don't know. I really
no.
don't.
You got to pick one. You got to pick somebody.
Oh, all right. I got to pick one guy. All right, I'll say Calgary.
You think Calgary will be first?
I'm banking on Markstrom that I'd say Calgary end up in first. So you can laugh at me at the end, but I think they've got the good team. They've got now that all he needed was a real hot goaltender, and if he's 7-year contract, kind of bothers me, but I guess they had to get him. But I'd say Calgary.
Yeah, regular.
Who are you going to take?
I think regular season you'll pick the Leafs, but playoff time, who knows? And what do you think, Cindy?
Vancouver.
No,
you guys are always going on about their goalies and stuff, so I'll vote for. I wish Toronto would do well, but
it would be interesting. Like they talked about the division, but I haven't seen anything what would happen in the playoffs. Like I don't know if there would be a playoff within the division, and then the winners of the 2 divisions go into the semifinals. I don't
know.
I don't know what.
I haven't seen anything but that. Anyhow, I like the Canadian division, the TV. I know. Sportsnet they'll be rubbing their hands every Saturday night. It'll be jammed.
Yeah, that's good. Got to mention our other sponsors, bread.ca. So they're a First Nations owned online casino.
Okay, Tim, can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
I want to make a bet.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I want to make a bet. Say
right.
I got an extra $20.
Right.
and I want to make a bet.
Yeah.
How do I get on that? What
You go on the computer,
Computer.
spreads.ca.
What is it?
Spreads, SPREADS.ca, spreads.ca.
Yeah.
And then you log in.
I say I want to bet $20.
Well, you gotta like log in. You gotta put your name and your email address.
I'm pretty stupid on those
and
things.
all this. So then you put it in, and then you got to make a deposit. So
how do you make the deposit?
well, you get your credit card, or you get
They all want your credit card. Dad.
credit card or your PayPal or whatever, and then you say, I want to put $20 into my kitty, right? Basically,
What's the kitty like? What do you
like
mean?
a kitty, like your pot, right?
Oh,
like
yeah.
money that you like your this is so they hold that for you, and then you can go on to the sports bet, and then you click on what you want to do.
Yeah.
And so let's say, like last night I bet on the Dodgers.
Nice.
Yes, and I bet on the Dodgers.
And Tampa Bay made a comeback.
Yeah, what a game that was last night. So this is Sunday, so this was Saturday night's game. And then you bet it, and then when the game's over, you go back and you can see on your deposit like how much you have in your kitty.
I often wondered how you get on that.
Yeah, so you go on. It's quite easy.
You do the betting for me.
Yeah. So I bet but I took the Dodgers last night. What a crazy game! It was unbelievable, guys.
I thought, I saw Dodgers laughing, on the bench. They were, and
They were up, and they thought they had it in the bag.
It's in the bag. Game's in the bag. And what is it? Mookie Betts. What were you saying?
Mookie Betts, who's I think the right fielder for the Dodgers, makes more money than the starting lineup for the Tampa Bay Rays.
And they're young guys, and they're hungry. And boy, I saw Dodgers laughing. They're pretty good. And I thought, boy, I wouldn't laugh at that club because they're and who'd ever thought? I thought that they had that game wrapped up.
Yeah, and you just get a broken bat single. A guy gets on and walk. Then a guy hits an error, and the guys are kicking the ball all around.
Yeah.
So anyway, so you sign up, and then
now we know how to do it.
Right. So if you go in and sign and use the Grapes promo, they'll match your deposit up to $100 or 100%. Up to $500. So if you put $50 in, they'll match it with $50. So you have $100.
That's pretty good.
Then and they also will they also give you $50 for your first sports bet. So if you wanted to bet on the game on the World Series, go on there and they can give you a $50 free bet.
I don't know who to bet on. Who's going to win that, Tim? Who do you say is going to win the World Series?
I think I'm betting now. I think Dodgers are going to win. I think Kershaw. I think Kershaw is going to come back, and they're not going to beat Kershaw.
I don't bet you they won't be laughing on the bench again.
No. So, and then you get 15 free spins and to win some big dough, and then again you get a $25 free bet on the sports bet. So,
well, we hope they do good. They're a Canadian company, and
that's what everybody wants to do now: support their local Canadian businesses.